Okay, welcome. I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because I'm assuming some people will watch this later on the rerun. Just going to give it a few minutes before we start today's session. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar, Transform Your Print Workflow with printIQ and Infigo, and which we're covering in a second. We're delighted to be guests today with our partners printIQ in ANZ. So if you're joining us now, if you'd like to just jump on and test our chat functionality and drop us a quick message, we'd appreciate a hello. If you recognise any of our distinguished guests today, please drop their name in and give them a wave. Also test your emoji function as well. You'll see that at the bottom of the screen. Put a smiley face. We also have a GIF as well. Sounds like a dog's joined us as well.
I just muted him.
Rachel, these software solutions are so versatile, they can help anyone, including dogs.
Yeah. Not how sure I'm going to do with the kids next, but that's okay.
I'm not sure about children.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great, guys. Great to see so many on already. And just remember, if you've missing it, we will be sending out the recording. So plenty to look forward to there. Okay, then without further ado, I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a warm-up into why we're all here today. I'm going to play a little animation that our friends have put together. And what we want to do is set a scene here, really, of what it's like for the modern-day print factory, or the PSP. So our gentleman sitting here, we think it's a gentleman. He's waiting for in his local print factory, and he has a very angry employee comes along, and he starts banging on his desk, slams his desk with frustration, in fact, with like a caveman approach. But then as it goes up, it hits the ceiling. It has a light bulb moment. The light bulb crashes, and that light bulb moment is printIQ. printIQ is actually the solution to a lot of the problems. As you can see here, it's showing, before we got to the Infigo side, that printIQ will help with seamlessly estimating, ordering, and producing jobs quicker and faster. So basically what we're kind of saying here before I hand over to Rachel is that today's all about the two software solutions and how they can make life not just easier and save you time, but also bring back revenue as well to your print operation. Rachel, I think this is your cue.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Chris. Like Chris said, thanks for everyone for joining around the globe. Had a huge registration for this event, which is fantastic. I'm sure you guys have seen those workflows before and that chaos in a print factory, I guess. And that's why I guess I'm really grateful for the Infigo team. It's been a fantastic partnership. I'm super excited to run the webinar with you guys today, just to show everyone, you know, how our systems work together, the efficiency gains that we can bring you guys, a real life demo. But yeah, it's an exciting webinar. So Chris is the head of global marketing for Infigo. He'll introduce the other guys on the session. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you everyone at printIQ for having us on this session today. We don't hide the fact how excited we are about this partnership and how successful it's been as well for our joint customers. And we'll share some of those successes with you in today's session. But first and foremost, thanks for making us welcome and letting us speak to your community today. So we're very lucky today to be joined by three very big titans of the industry. We recently met Justin Weber, who, if you guys are in ANZ, you will know that he is the ANZ sales manager for printIQ. We've got a little bio on Justin, and I don't want to embarrass him too much, but Justin started in the print industry in 1989. You can make from that what you will. But he was an apprentice first in the as a printing machinist, and he's worked as a printer production manager factory supervisor before he moved into sales in 2004 with Kodak. Justin has a plethora of experience with selling pre-press software, equipment, consumables, and in 2018, he joined the printIQ team. So if anyone's got the full 360 experience of a print operation, then it's Justin. So Justin, thanks very much for today. And again, thank you for welcoming us to your region. And now,
thanks,
gentlemen,
Chris,
Paul.
the kindest words ever said.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Paul, I'm very lucky that I get to work with Paul, as we affectionately call him, PVT, in the UK and North America. And again, Paul and Alex and a few others, which we'll cover again today, are the reason why this collaboration and partnership is so successful and does return financial rewards for our joint customers. Paul is a technical integration specialist at printIQ. I can think of many job titles for Paul. That is not one, but he is a bit of a hero. Paul has 15 years in the printing industry and is passionate about automation, and that comes across in abundance in the last 4 or 5 years I've been working with him. Paul specializes in seeing gaps and multidisciplinary print environments where automation can benefit the customer and helping them create lights out automation. Paul just gets things done. And speaking of getting things done, Alex Bowell, who actually is the Managing Director of Infigo, so we're very lucky to have the MD with us today. But before Alex was the MD, he was a pivotal part of driving that partnership with Paul to give our customers the very best. Alex is, as I say, is the Managing Director of Infigo. He's also a recognised Tillamai technical guru. Alex, you can explain what that means later. A true product innovator. He brings a wealth of experience to all organisations. He has immense superpowers when it comes to fixing and transforming businesses and getting things right. Attention to detail, collaboration, positive mindset. When you add Alex and Paul together, things happen. So welcome all three of you to today's session, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And Alex, thank you for getting up early as well. I know that it's a bit early for you there in the UK.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. These sessions are interactive. We really would like to hear from you throughout this session. We would like people to jump in the chat, speak to our moderators, speak to our guests. There's no such thing as a silly question. All questions are welcome. Please jump in there and start chatting to us. Let us know what you want to know. Let us know how we can help you today. If you don't know who Infigo are and you have any questions for Infigo, myself and Alex will try and help the best we can. If you'd like to try and understand some more of the success case studies that we've achieved in other regions, please ask the questions in there and we'll cover those off with you. Okay, so before we crack on, we're going to start with a poll. And we're going to ask you, first of all, how many of you are currently using a web to print and an MIS system? Okay. So we'd just like you to all submit your votes. You should all see the poll on the screen right now. This helps us gauge how we can help you post this session. Okay, another few seconds, results coming through. So far, 26% of you are not using web to print with an MIS system. Now that's rising to 30%. Okay, I'm going to move on. Thank you very much for those contributing to those polls. It looks as if about 30% of you are not using a combined offering of web to print and MIS. Hopefully after today you will change that. So today's session, we're going to run through basically introductions into the companies, the two companies that we feel have come together over the last 5 or 6 years to bring an award-winning product to the market and help PSPs achieve things. We're going to go into why that partnership is so strong, and then we're going to talk about the technicals of the integration. And that's probably the biggest piece here, is there's a product that's been developed over years with a lot of hard work and real life case studies to make it something successful that could be measured. Then we're very lucky to have Alex and Paul give us a live demonstration, and then Justin will leave on a Q&A at the end of the session. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Justin, who's going to talk us through a little bit about printIQ and share a bit of background on that amazing business. Justin.
Thanks, Chris. So yes, printIQ, we turned 25 this year. Yeah, that's a nice milestone to hit. We've got our strong customer foundation in the ANZ market where printIQ began, and then in around 2017 we branched out into the US market, and in 2020 into the European market. We've got about 60 staff now around the world, dotted around the world, and with around 300 clients worldwide as well. We're extremely excited about the growth that we've had, and it couldn't have happened without all of our customers. We're very unique in the sense that we don't outsource any development. All our development is done out of New Zealand. We've got a full-time team of around about 15 or 16 developers. We provide one major release a year and then constant minor releases, always adding new features. We're constantly evolving printIQ, and a lot of that comes from customer feedback. We service most of the print industry markets these days with wide format packaging, labels, offset digital, promotional products. We're always talking with new partners and find best integrations to take automation even further, hence why we're doing this webinar today. And for customers that have been long-term users, our service and support department offers client health checks so that we can come in and sit down with you and make sure that you are using the system the way that it should be, and you've embraced the developments that have come along the way.
Thank you, Justin. I'm just going to introduce Alex. Alex, welcome.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Yeah, at Infigo, we're transforming the print industry with innovation, accessible and scalable web-to-print solutions. Our platform empowers businesses to streamline operations, ultimately drive profitability and unlock new revenue opportunities through automation, some of which we will show you today. Born from a frustration with outdated barriers, we spent the last 15 years refining a solution for our customers that we feel is intuitive, really flexible, and uses partners to provide those end-to-end solutions seamlessly. We started out in the UK market many years ago, and then around 7 or 8 years ago branched into the US, which has increased and is now our biggest growing market. And then more recently, looking at obviously the Australia and New Zealand region as well. Our success is built on our 5 core values at Infigo. So innovation, we pride ourselves on being a disruptive innovator in the market. Professionalism, commitment, accountability, and ultimately a customer-focused approach. Our customers, we treat them more than just users of our software, they're partners. And guided by those core values, we work tirelessly alongside them to help them overcome their business challenges and ultimately help them achieve their goals. And that collaborative approach, combined with our software, has made us a trusted partner for many industry leaders like printIQ today. And when you partner with Infigo and IQ, you gain more than just a solution. You gain a combined team that's really dedicated to your success. Yeah, we are a global business, and that's not just our customer base, which we'll show you in a minute, but we have around 50 members of staff now. Our headquarters are here in the very cold, grey, slightly wet and miserable UK. Our development hub spans across mainland Europe, with teams in Spain, Germany, and Moldova. Chris, our head of global marketing, is currently in the UAE, in Oman. And in the US, we have service partners that help us support multiple time zones and help us meet those growing demands of our customers. And today, we're here to talk to you guys and hopefully make our mark on the ANZ region. And then ultimately, with success, we plan to strengthen our presence by investing in dedicated resources for that market too.
Okay, Alex, talk to us about the partnership then between printIQ and Infigo. Tell us about the philosophy and innovation.
Yeah, so partnership is a big thing for us. You know, as we saw a couple of slides back, we really see the value in partnership, and the partnership between Infigo and printIQ is built on a real shared philosophy for innovation. Both our companies are driven by the needs and the ambitions of our customers, and finding a partner when we go through that process isn't just about ones that offer good technical solutions, but it's also ones that share the same sort of mindsets, so that you can work really closely together. And that's what we found with printIQ. We've both got hugely talented development teams, and that helps us to be what we consider best in class and at the forefront of the industry. That obviously the print industry is shifting rapidly because of the advancements in technology and also consumer behaviour, and we believe that it's essential to offer solutions that provide that flexibility and scalability. And so through automated workflows, through reducing manual interventions, and the customer service that the two businesses deliver, we believe that printIQ and Infigo ensure that we have the capabilities to allow our customers to achieve more.
Excellent, Alex. Thank you so much. And from a marketeer trying to understand obviously I hear all the positive talk on why the integration and the technology is so powerful. Can you just give us a little bit more of an insight into the features or what makes it so powerful and where that value is?
Yeah, so obviously many of you on the webinar today will know that IQ is a hugely powerful tool. And so where we come in by offering the web to print front end, we try and make a fully automated experience for your end customers, so that your workforces can concentrate on real value-added tasks. So elements of the integration allow our digital storefront, where customers can log in online 24/7 from anywhere in the world, view their products. Those products can be created in printIQ and synced automatically into your Infigo storefront. So there's no manual input required. Product details, imagery, quantity tiers, everything is kept up to date, and there's a single source of truth, which will be printIQ. We have real live pricing in real time. So pricing driven from obviously the complex quoting functionalities of printIQ are automatically reflected in Infigo. So whenever a customer comes onto the storefront, selects a product, makes their attribute and job specification selections online, Infigo makes a request to printIQ. printIQ generates an estimate, and that price is then displayed back to the customer in real time. So it provides that transparency and precision at every transaction. Along with that, we also have real-time inventory management. So stock levels are always current. Anytime the customer is browsing the storefront and we display the stock levels to them, they are accurate as of that moment, displayed, returned live from printIQ. We also have streamlined shipping. So although Infigo has a plethora of shipping options, from direct rate integrations with UPS, FedEx, and EasyPost, you could also pull your shipping options direct from printIQ with the rates that printIQ has calculated, and display them to the customer checkout so they can make an educated decision on how they want their goods shipped. Along with that, we also have automated order and shipping updates so that your customers are kept informed effortlessly. So as status updates are triggered through printIQ, shipments are processed out, customers via Infigo are notified with any sort of tracking information, so they are kept up to date and know where their order is at all times. Along with that, which we'll also show, is a more advanced customer quoting. So beyond the standard product mapping, Infigo also supports complex custom quoting workflows. So seamlessly integrating with IQ to handle even the most intricate job requests, where you can provide custom jobs to customers easily, and again, provide those live costs up front in real time.
Wow, wow, thanks, Alex. And it just shows you what an advanced product it is. Obviously, folks, you can see straight away that, you know, we've been here and done this and been working together for some time now. There's 28 joint customers here, five years of collaboration and integration, and the key phrase here is development, really, with real life case studies. So we're not new to each other. The product's mature. It's what we call a native integration. I guess what I'd say is I can see, obviously, we've got Paul on the call as well today, and Alex. Is there anything you guys would like to just say on the joint customers that we share? I'd like to Paul first, maybe, if you want to jump in, tell us what you...
It'd help if I muted. Yeah, I think from our customers that are joint, certainly within the UK, US and Australia, a lot of those customers may have invested in other systems in the past and maybe hit bottlenecks and limitations with what they're able to do with that solution. And I think in a lot of cases, the way the integration works and how effortless it makes it to actually get your products set up within IQ and have them straight away within Infigo is one of the biggest selling points, because they're not having to double enter information between the two systems. The orders are landing effortlessly into printIQ, and once they're produced, they're coming back out into Infigo for updates. So I think removing all that double entry out of the sort of workflow is allowing a lot of the customers to produce jobs that maybe they wouldn't previously produce because maybe there's a low profit margin in it. And having that ability to streamline the operation and remove out essentially extra pairs of hands that were doing that manual work were probably the biggest selling points to our customer base.
Fantastic. Alex, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I think we've seen huge success with our joint customers, and again, for all of the reasons that Paul has mentioned, it allows staff to focus on the real value add tasks, so that they're not having to enter in information twice. It removes the risk of error, because all of the information is driven from printIQ. And it allows you to spin up storefronts really quickly and easily, and we'll show you that. We'll talk around some of the tools that allow you to do that in a short while.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Paul. So don't take our word for it. We just want to share a little highlight reel of some of our US and UK clients who use both vendors and want to share their feedback. So let me know if you can't hear it in the chat, or if our presenters can't hear it, please let me know.
No. I can't hear it, Chris.
Okay, bear me a second. Please hold a second, call. Okay, tell me you guys can hear this. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to sharing the presentation. So don't take our words for it. As I say, here, that's our customers and what they say. I think we covered a session recently where we looked at saving a day a week, and it was absolutely phenomenal to hear not just customers saving on time and getting time back, but making profit on jobs as low as $50. It was unbelievable. So there we go. We can provide more case studies if required. Got some questions coming through in the chat now. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jason. We're going to save those for Justin towards the end. Tom says he was struggling to hear you, Alex. I don't know whether you need to shout a bit louder from the UK so that people.
Sorry, Tom.
So people can hear you. So I'm going to run our next poll. Okay, and let me just pipe up on the screen now. So what's your biggest operational challenge? This is a multiple choice poll, multiple choice questions. We would like to hear what your biggest operational challenge is, or challenges maybe. So for example, manual processes, pricing accuracy, turnaround times, double entry in data, labor shortage, or other. Let's see what you guys have got to say.
Real mix there, Chris.
Lots of challenges. Lots of challenges. Lots of challenges. So let's see what the winner is at the moment. We've got 28% at the moment, manual processes. We don't like manual processes. Double entry of data. Well, as Alex and Paul both said, the source of truth is printIQ. So we need to make sure that that data is correct first and foremost. Pricing accuracy. Again, these guys know how to sort that out for two-way communication. Turnaround times, labor shortage. Okay.
It's a good thing that everyone's attending the webinar then, would you say, Chris?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And honestly, I mean, being a marketeer, and when you hear the technical guys, you know, banding around sort of stats like we can save on average or minimum a day a week through an integration between two pieces of software like this. A day a week is worth so much to the human being in the 21st century, and the value of that, just, you know, for me, is just gargantuan. So, okay, I'm going to move on, guys, because that poll was that was quite informative. Just to highlight that manual processes was the highest with 30%, and double entry of data is 24%. So the solution to those challenges are on this call today. So I suggest you reach out. Okay, so when we came together, both printIQ and Infigo, we were looking at a different world, a post-COVID world where expectations have changed. The PSP is changing. We're now seeing that 72% of print businesses are seeing increased demand from customers for faster turnaround times. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? We all use Amazon, we all use Uber, we all expect things to be with us next day. And one day when the drones start taking off, they'll be delivering it same day, I'm sure. But that expectation is going to fall onto you as a PSP, and therefore the software and the systems need to be able to deliver that. So this was something that drives both Infigo and printIQ to make sure that we can integrate and automate as smoothly as possible. So the Amazon experience is becoming the expectation for all. 73% of B2B buyers today are millennials, which is a really interesting shift in the market. Dad or mum, whoever is the owner of the family business, is moving on, maybe retiring, going to hit the golf course now, and the kids are taking over. The kids that have grown up with the print business, for example, have a good understanding of it, but also have that expectation of software, apps, hardware, AI, etc. So they've got that expectation where they need to access data quicker. They want to be more competitive. They want to be turning business around faster, so they have a positive reviews online. They're more digitally savvy. They're looking for revenue and cutting costs, and they're looking for customer loyalty. And these are massive drivers now for the PSP in the 21st century. So gone are the days where you're told, if you want it fast, it won't be good. And if you want it good, it won't be fast. That's no longer true. And today we'll show you why. But just remember those 4 key areas that drive Infigo. We want to make sure that we enhance customer experience. We want to make sure that data driven. And we've already discussed that as well. Data being the source of truth and making sure that whatever we read is from that source of truth. To achieve the Amazon experience, you need speed to order. 70% faster on average. That's what's expected now. That's the expectation. You can gain 1 day per week. I keep saying it, it's a huge number. And I think Paul even questioned me recently on a webinar we did in Europe saying minimum, could be more. It's hard to actually say how much more, but on average, 1 day per week when everything is integrated and automated following the processes and procedures that these two businesses have created over the last 5 years. Reducing manual intervention is key. And then if you look at the last poll, we had one of these challenges as labour shortages. So if you reduce manual intervention, surely that helps with labour shortages. And then studies have shown that print businesses with a high level of automation could complete jobs 40% faster on average. So when you think of the smaller margins on products, if you've got a 40% faster process, then that can only help with you make more money out of the smaller jobs. So throughout today, we're going to share some information, some collateral and some assets. Should you want to find out more or download some information, we've got 2 great white papers here on screen. Just simply scan the QR codes. We've got the brand new white paper from printIQ, which is gain control of your print business with MIS. And then Infigo have why web to print should be your next hire. So please feel free to download those and interact with our team. So enough talking from me. We've spoken about the value of the partnership. We've given you that 1 day a week can be saved number, that key number. I'm now going to hand over to Alex and Paul, who are going to take us through the system. Thank you, gentlemen. If I can hand it to you first, Alex.
Thank you, Chris. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's actually yours at the moment. There we go. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah. So this is the exciting part. This is the live demo where anything can happen. This is our product. This is Infigo. This is our digital online storefront. We have so many tools out of the box that allow your teams to create beautifully crafted, personalized web storefronts. And that's something that we do pride ourselves on, along with our integrations and our partnerships. It's the ability to create a branded storefront quickly and easily that is beautiful on the eye. This site typically is fairly standard in our world. It is something that we expect all of our customers to be able to build And we have a number of tools that allow you to do that without having to have big teams of developers managing and creating complex websites for you. We also have other examples of some storefronts that some of our customers also have, that just shows a bit of the variety and the flexibility of our product should you wish to stretch its capabilities, whether by your internal teams or our professional services that as a business we also offer. So these are all the same Infigo storefronts, but they're just configured and built different using the tools that we provide. So we're going to split this demo today into two sections. The first is a bit of an experience as if we're one of your end customers, showing a process that will go through that is quick, seamless, and filled with the feedback from printIQ, so that the customers remain informed throughout their buying process. And then the second part will kind of dive into the integration a little bit more. Paul will take over and do some magic in printIQ, and we can see that reflected in Infigo, just so you get a better idea of how the two solutions work. So I'm going to start. I'm a customer of yours potentially. I've logged in either through a standard username, password, or potentially through single sign-on into your branded online storefront. I am coming on here. I know what I want to print. It's a 4-page brochure, so I'm going to jump straight to that product. But we have tools that allow you to search through a plethora of categories of products to find the product that your customer wants. I'm going to jump in then to our product landing page. This is a fairly simple product that we've got here, but again, we'll show you a more complex one in a while, where you can offer many options for the customer to select from, so they can customize the specification of their print job. What we're going to do here, though, is I'm going to enter in a quantity. This, under the hood, then, is making a request to printIQ to create a quote on the fly. That quote then comes back, and the live price is then displayed to the customer, so they've got an accurate cost of the specification and the quantity of that job that they wish to create. And so, again, as we touched on many times throughout this webinar so far, that you don't have to enter that price or manage that price in multiple locations. That is driven from printIQ. Happy with my price, happy with the quantity. I then jump into what we have here is our file upload product. We have multiple editors available in Infigo. One is our Mega Edit online editor. Depending on the buying process of your customers and whether they have print-ready artwork already created, you could offer different types of products. So our Mega Edit editor is an online editor. It allows them to create products from potentially a set list of templates, where they can just go in and tweak imagery and text, or they can design from scratch. This one, I'm a customer that has my artwork already pre-created, so I want to provide that and upload that at this point. So I then select the artwork I want to select. This product actually has a InFocus pit stop profile. So we have InFocus pit stop embedded in our solution. This allows for upstream profiling and pre-flighting of the artwork files, so that customers can get real-time feedback on the quality of the artwork they're providing. So obviously there's a balance that you can get right here. You don't want to make it too complex and stop people from being able to provide that artwork without having too many barriers, and that is completely configurable, and that's about you understanding the customer that you have and the understanding that they have around those print files. But in this case, we've got one that checks two things. It checks the number of pages, because we're obviously ordering a 4-page brochure, but it also checks the color space. So this checks to make sure that the files that they're providing are CMYK. I've just uploaded a file that has RGB on it, and so this has errored. So me as an end customer, it says validation failed. I can see the reasons why. I can also download a report if I wish, and within this report, I can take that away, and it just details exactly where those errors are in the file that is stopping it from being processed. And I can share that internally, take it away if I wish. In this example, I've also got an auto fix upload option. So this is where I can click that, and we are running then a second pre-flight profile against this file that will then convert any RGB color space it finds into CMYK and automatically fix that file for the customer, so that now I have a big green box, everything is good, manual fixes have been applied, and I can see the changes that we've made. Again, I can download a second report of the changes that have been made, and now I can preview the updated artwork file once those changes have been made. I'm happy with the changes made. If I wasn't, I can go back and upload a new file. I can modify it offline and re-upload it, or I can just add the basket. So in the cart in Infigo, fairly standard e-commerce cart here, but I can add additional information in here at this point, which also gets passed through into printIQ as part of the job. For example, whatever that might be, and then I can check out. During the checkout, I can provide my shipping and billing addresses. I have the ability to manage my addresses within my account. But I can select from my list of all my addresses, decide where I want to do, what my billing address should be, and then also I can use the same one for delivery here. This then jumps me through to the delivery option step. We touched on earlier that Infigo has many integrations for calculating delivery costs. We have a UPS direct integration to fetch rates from UPS, FedEx. We also have an integration with EasyPost that allows you to create and link your own courier accounts, get live rates back, but also create shipments and print shipping labels. Obviously, printIQ does that too. And in this case, what we also have is the ability to pull delivery methods and options directly from printIQ and the costs that printIQ has calculated for that order. So these 4 options here, these are driven directly from printIQ. And me as a customer, I can go through and see what the different delivery options are that I can choose from and the associated costs so that I can make an informed decision during this checkout process. And again, that's all driven from within printIQ. So you don't have to dual manage your delivery and freight costs in 2 systems. You just control that within IQ. Payment. So obviously, as part of an e-commerce platform, we have the ability to take payment up front, whether that's through credit and debit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or purchase order. And so you can offer those options to customers. You can decide on a customer level which options you want to offer them. So if they have payment terms, you can offer them purchase order. If they're new customers, you can obviously expect them to pay credit card up front. I'm going to select purchase order. As part of the PO step, you can also provide and upload a PDF file. This PDF file will also then be passed into IQ so that you can download it and reference it directly in IQ as well. And then I can continue. And then just before I confirm, I get a summary of the order and all the information and associated costs before placing my order. So now I've placed that order, I get confirmation. I will shortly get an email through to confirm that with all of the information in that. And then under the hood, what's happening is we are preparing the artwork file and we are pushing that order and that job into IQ. Paul, perfect. Would you like to take over and show that landing in IQ?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of the people on the call are familiar with printIQ. So the process after Infigo obviously creates the estimate, which we can see if we come into the estimates on this site. We'll see any of the Infigo estimates come in. So we can see the 4PP brochure that Alex created a second ago. And if we then take a browse at our orders within here, what we should see now is the order that Alex has just placed. So we get the PO number come through within that. We also specify due date and things like that if the turnaround times are set up. So if we come into the job itself, what we'll see within this job now on screen is we can see that the purchase order that Alex uploaded has been provided with a link. And within here, we get an Infigo external order reference. So we know exactly what it tallies up to, and we can see all of the instructions that Alex placed in here originally. So the job itself, once it lands into printIQ, because the artwork has been provided, it's effortless on that part. If the system is hooked up to a workflow, such as M-Focus Switch, like for example, this job here has a pre-flight option within it. So this will start talking straight away to the workflow. In the case of this job, with Switch or something similar in its presence, what we'll find is that actually this job's come through from an online order because there's no manual intervention in between us with pre-flight, because it's going to be doing it automatically. The same with maybe any soft proofing, that can also be automated through using a workflow solution such as M-Focus with it. This job can essentially land in from Infigo and have 0 touches to the point it hits the shop floor. And that's the perks of this, is that if I replicate the job actually going through production now from a manual step rather than someone actually printing it, once I go to dispatch my job, within here, it's got the correct delivery type being selected by Infigo. I can create my consignment number. I'm going to enter one manually into this. So we've got something going into that, but that will now pass back that information to Infigo. So from a business perspective, there's no entering of orders into the system. They're automatically created, as you can see there. All of the relevant steps that need to be taken within that job to get it completed have been set by you guys when you've created the products in printIQ. And the same as when your team are dispatching that job, there's no need to go back into the web to print system to mark this as dispatched. This will now send the API back to Infigo to let it know the job's gone. If you're using tools such as EasyPost or any of our other built-in integrations, we also pass back the tracking URL as well. So when the customer receives their email from Infigo, they can click the link and they're taken straight into their tracking information within that.
So the customer can see that PVT, so the customer can see all that information back in Infigo.
Correct, yeah. So now that job's dispatched, we've sort of mimicked it going extremely quickly through production. That will now send back the call to Infigo to let it know that the dispatch is completed. Here's the consignment information. One of the cool developments that printIQ and Infigo worked on together was the ability to partially ship as well. So if, for example, we're working with stock orders, and there's only a certain percentage of it available to send out now, because maybe you're waiting to replenish it, we will send back the partial ship status to Infigo, who will then update the customer as well. So it's not a one-to-one ratio. It's dynamic, and as things change in IQ, Infigo adapts to that and will notify the customer.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah, so
from your side, you have that.
Yeah, I have. So I can see now that job in Infigo. It's marked as shipped. This is the administration area of Infigo. This is our job operations screen. This 6970 was the order ID that we placed, and you'll see this product status here is set to ship. There's my artwork file. We put the tracking number in there, and if that was, as Paul mentioned, something provided by EasyPost and it was a URL or a link, that would also come in there. And then an email is also triggered to the end customer, letting them know that that job is shipped, and they can also view that within my account to see the status updates of that order as it comes through.
Amazing.
Excellent. I think, do we want to go to have a look at a custom quote now, Alex, as well?
Yeah, so that was obviously kind of the ordering process, so you could see how quick and easy that is for an end customer. The other aspect is creating those products in Infigo. So we assume, you're going to particularly have hundreds of products and across, multiple storefronts that you want to offer to multiple customers. So what we can do now is demonstrate how easy and simple that could be to get your products from IQ into Infigo. So if we just have a quick look again in the administration side of Infigo here, this is my product list at the moment. So these are kind of the demo products that we've been showing you this morning. One moment. Here. So we have 9 products. And then, Paul, if you want to jump into IQ and create a handful of products in IQ, and we can see them landing in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what I'm gonna do within here as well is within printIQ, I'm sure a lot of the customers are familiar, they're using IQ. We have the ability to create products on an individual basis, but we also have the ability to upload products via CSV. So prior to the session, I prepared a CSV. This CSV contains 3 variations of business cards. It also has the imagery related to those as well. So a lot of the customers we're working with are using this method of uploading because it's the ability to upload products in mass. So once I've imported these products into printIQ, what I'll have now is 3 new SKU codes within there. If I take a look at my quick quotes area within printIQ, I'll now also have those products within here. So we've got these are the 3 business cards I've just uploaded within that point. And what will happen now in the background is that we've sent a webhook to Infigo just to let them know that there's 3 new products available. That's not just on new product creation, that's also based on any updates you make. So if the customer's artwork or preview has changed on that, if the specification of the product's changed, we're sending that information back at every point. The same as if you delete a product from printIQ, we also deactivate that in Infigo as well. So the administration of your Infigo storefronts get brought back to printIQ being the hub and source of truth there. So from your side, Alex, I believe we should have, hopefully within the next sort of 30 seconds or so, the product should start creating.
Yeah, no, I can see those in here already. So I was just refreshing our product list here in Infigo, and you can see those 3 products here have landed. When I jump into them in Infigo here, this is our product management area. You can see that I've obviously got the product name. I'm just going to jump in here quickly. I've got the SKU and the mapped product code from printIQ. And then if I jump to the front end quickly, which is obviously what your customers will see, I can then see the product imagery that's come through from IQ. And again, I can now start to create estimates or quotes from that and start ordering that straight away. So this is obviously, as Paul mentioned, this is a stock item, so there is no personalization. So I can get the quote for the quantity that I want, add it straight to basket, and place that order for that immediately.
And that pricing is coming from printIQ, right? Like
that pricing is generated from.
Yeah, right. One data source, one source of truth, essentially. I guess that's what we hate with multiple systems, is the double entry, double handling, double maintenance. So yeah, that's cool.
And if you were to change anything, product name, product description, imagery, whatever it might be, that is then reflected in IQ without in Infigo, sorry, without having to make any manual changes.
Yeah, any changes that get made get synced over, so it makes it easy to keep artwork and information all up to date for the customer. You're not having to upload in both places. As long as that data is contained within printIQ, Infigo is receiving that data.
And the room for error is like, you know, just eliminates it massively. So
yeah,
agreed,
100%.
Yeah. And obviously it's the speed to market, and you know we've touched on that a few times, but it's the way that you can create offerings to your customers quickly and easily without having to create these complex storefronts, complex workflows, multiple you know, data entry.
yeah.
So the other piece that I just want to quickly show you, so that's obviously on a kind of product basis, on a product code SKU basis. But we also support, and again, you're probably potentially familiar with that in IQ, which is your custom quoting. We support the ability to create more custom products, and I'll jump into the administration side of this product now, and I'll also show you the front end as well. But here we have a product that allows you to configure custom sizes and many different aspects of this job specification. So here's the front end. So we've got a number of fixed sizes, but also I can customize my own size here. So I'm going to do 25, let's see. I can choose a series of materials depending on what I want to offer, and then I've got some embellishments. So I want to emboss this, and then I'm going to enter my quantity, and then I'm going to request the price. This product doesn't exist in IQ as a product itself. What we're doing then is creating a custom quote based on all of the information and parameters that the customer selected here. So this quantity and this price here is created on the fly in IQ. And if I just show you quickly before I hand over to Paul, so he can show you that in IQ, we have this connect link, and that is how the two systems communicate and are mapped, so they can translate. Oh dear. So here I have this form, and again we've tried to mimic the custom quoting experience in IQ. So here I can really configure how I want this product to be set up. So it's a single section product. All of the stocks, these stocks are pulled dynamically from IQ. So if you introduce a new stock type in IQ, that'll become available for you to use and map in Infigo. And likewise with all of these options. So we have color, front, back, number of pages, finish, and these are all on the job. And then you can also create your side operations, section operations. Sorry, those are on the section. And then you create your job information along with job operations. And you can create multiple section products easily and quickly, along with single section, simple products. And then in Infigo, where you have those attributes, which are those selections I showed you on the product landing page, you can then go in and map these to specific information overrides essentially on that custom quoting element. So here I have my number of materials that I want to offer. If I just jump into my 100 GSM map, for example, I have my base product mapped and configured with all of the sections and information that I want. And then on this one, I simply go in and override just the stock, so that when they select 100 GSM map, it pulls in the correct stock into that estimate in IQ. So Paul, I don't know if you want to quickly just jump in and show.
Yeah, I think before I jump into mine, I think that was one of the important things that we discussed, Alex, wasn't it? In the days where we started talking about the concept of custom quote was, again, double entry. printIQ has such a massive APIs available that we had everything there to essentially mimic what both systems were doing. So it meant that customers, when they were setting up the products within Infigo, they weren't having to try and memorize stock codes or process codes, etc. within there. We were just able to present them with a nice list where they can work from. So it's so familiar to what they're used to seeing.
Yeah. And I think you guys actually built APIs and made changes to those APIs to make that even easier for end customers to do via our integration as well.
Yeah, 100%. During the stages where both companies were working together, we identified a space in our own API and wanted to make it better. So we did that change as part of that as well to improve how we were pulling that data. But you can see from the estimate that Alex created there, we're pushing into printIQ straight away the stock, the process, the color back finishing, the sizing, and any operations that are specified in there. So from that point, before Alex generate that first estimate for the product, that product didn't exist. And this is where one of the things obviously is the ability to have it really dynamic, where customers are telling you what the product is they want, but you're limiting the options to them to eliminate error when they're creating their products in the basket. Obviously from this side of things, we've created a single section product, but when it comes to other elements such as multi-section products or multiple products, it all handles in exactly the same way as if you was making that estimate in printIQ yourself. And I think that's another selling point from printIQ being that source of truth, is that traditionally a lot of web to print systems, there'd be someone in the background manually creating this quote based on that custom product from the storefront. And now with this integration, customers are doing that part for you every time.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've had, I guess, what Justin and I have experienced over here. We've had a huge demand in the Australian, New Zealand market around having a web to print solution, but really there's nothing like what Infigo and printIQ do in terms of integration, like how tight the integration is. There's so many web to print solutions out there, and I know, Justin, you and I have spoken to lots of customers about low end things and what you can do, but it all comes back to what you're trying to achieve. And if it's removing some of that double entry, multiple systems to manage, accuracy of data and integrity and things like that, it's this is why it's a pretty amazing solution between us.
Absolutely, Rachel.
Yeah, and now, sorry, Chris. Now this is a fairly mature solution now as well. Chris touched on earlier.
Oh yeah, like even talking about the custom quoting stuff, Alex. Like I remember, so for the customers on the call, when I was sitting more across globally in printIQ in a more global role before, I consumed just ANZ. I've been working with Alex and the Infigo team for some years, and had gone through lots of implementations of Infigo and printIQ from a UK customer base of printIQ. And I think, gosh, it must have been about 5 years ago that bespoke, custom quoting didn't even exist, that integration between Infigo. So the ongoing developments that we're doing as a partnership to make things better and better, even the tracking, even the freight tracking going back into Infigo, so the customers can find the consignment details themselves rather than having to pick up the phone and ring the customer, ring the print shop and say, where's my order? That didn't exist. So it's pretty amazing to be part of the journey, and I guess it's why I'm super grateful to be able to now bring you guys to the ANZ market, because it's been a great journey along the way.
Yeah, I think from the side of the integration as well, Rach, is that it's only going to get better. Like jointly between the two teams, we get other requests. Like between me, Alex, and the integration team at IQ and Alex's team, we all sit there thinking, yes, we've nailed it, we've got everything. And then we'll get a customer throw a curveball in, and then we go back to the drawing board again. So we continue to try and change it. We don't want to have a sort of static and stood still approach with it. I mean, there's so much more to that integration. I think one of the things we didn't show within that, which we can show to customers at a later date, is stuff like when the payment's done by credit card, that invoice is created in printIQ and the payment's there. So again, from an accounts perspective, they're not having to try and work out where payments are coming from. The whole intention we both had as both teams was we wanted to mirror each other and make it as simple as possible. If someone places an order in Infigo or printIQ, they're the same every time, and that's without.
I think, Paul, just that point. Sorry, just one second, guys. Paul made a point there, another couple of features. If people want to see those features, please drop your email address in the chat, and the guys will reach out to you and arrange a demonstration. Sorry, Alex, you were saying.
No, I just wanted to say that, it's. I want to make a real point that it's a really robust solution as well. Like we have those 28 customers worldwide that are using it, and a lot of them in earnest. So Ubiquity, who we saw on the video earlier, are using IQ in lots of weird and wonderful ways, stretching the capabilities and integrations on that side. But they also are running 75 concurrent Infigo storefronts all communicating with IQ.
Wow.
And so when they upload and create products, the integration decides which storefront in Infigo those products should be created or updated on. And I think, Paul, you looked at a stat about the number of webhooks and interactions they made, and we're in the millions? I don't know.
Yeah, I think last time I checked with it, like if we want to look at the stats of it to see how stable we know the connection is, I think the peak of customer interaction with Cubiquity on one particular day, they'd created 1,500 quotes, and they were like 95% of those were Infigo generated estimates. So that's where customers have gone into the system and started either self-estimating on products or ordering products, so that we know the connections great between the two systems. I think when I checked previously, because they're using all the product sync capabilities, the tracking capabilities within the system, like Alex said, they're pushing the system in every angle. I think over a space of a 3-month period, there was either I think it was just over 1 million webhooks sent back from printIQ to Infigo. So that's over 1 million status updates essentially, and that could be new products, new stock items, tracking information. That could be updates to products. So it just goes to show, like, the systems are capable of doing it to that sort of degree. And as a customer, I've been catching up with them over the last few weeks. They're only getting busier, so we know that from a sort of flow perspective of workload, we know that the systems will handle it if you're receiving a ton of orders every day.
Okay, Paul, I'm going to move things on, guys, because I'm just aware we've got to get onto the Q&A. So thank you so much for that. It was really insightful. And as we mentioned earlier, there's a ton of more integrations and features that we can share with you. So please get in touch if you want to know more. There'll be contact details after this next section. So I'm going to hand over to Justin now. Justin, we've got a Q&A. I've got a couple of questions already come through while you guys have been talking. The chat looks quite busy. I'll hand over to you first, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, the couple that have come through the chat from Jenny. She's asked if they do you do the quote in Infigo? I think that was answered during the demo, but if Alex, you can just clarify, or Paul.
Yeah. So hopefully the demo answered that, Jenny. But yeah, ultimately the customer will make their selections and request the price in Infigo, but printIQ is the one that's generating that quote and returning it back. So, yeah.
And Jenny's just responded with yes, it did. So she was paying attention. She was paying attention, and she saw that.
Well done, Jenny.
Jason has asked, multiple rate cards, are they possible?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So depending on how that's sort of validated, obviously with printIQ and Infigo, if you've got multiple customers set up in Infigo, they're all driven the same as printIQ. It looks at printIQ's customer records. So if we've got the same rate card and 4 customers pay 4 different prices, when Infigo sends a request to us, they're sending the customer that's logged in. So we know who it is, we know what their price list is, and we're going to return the rate that they're paying for their order. So in a lot of cases, you can set up a product once and use it multiple times. As Alex sort of touched on within the product setup, it also has the abilities of attributes. So you can have multiple rate cards that might have slightly different finishes, that say maybe like where Alex touched on gloss lamb and matte lamb. You can have multiple rate cards in IQ linked to a single product in Infigo, so you're able to then flick between different options. But yes, to sort of go back to Jason's point, because I've seen the response come back in. Essentially, yeah, it's based on the customer login details. So I know that within the configuration, we have a fallback as well. So if you have a price list for retail customers, we can set that in the Infigo configuration. So if they are a new customer logging onto the site, that information goes to the fallback, so they get the sort of retail price rather than the customers that you're maybe working with a bit more closely. So we sort of covered both scenarios there.
Excellent. So that's answered those questions. I can see that Matthew's typing, but while he's going along, I think I'll ask a question. Alex, what do you think are the main benefits of working with printIQ and Infigo on an integrated system?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of the technical benefits today. But definitely one of the biggest kind of value adds is working is the seamless collaboration between our teams. And you've seen it today. Me and Paul work so close together, working with Rachel and Linda in the States and everyone else in Infigo for IQ for many years. So it's not just about software integration. It's also about our consultative approach as well. Me and Paul and others in Infigo and others in IQ, we take the time to understand our customers' needs, and we jump on as a collective. So Infigo, printIQ, and the customer, and we go through that discovery phase. We work with the customer to address the challenges and come up with the solutions together so that the project runs smoothly. And that's something that is taken the years, and that level of partnership, because it can be difficult when you work with separate vendors. But over the last 5 years, we've built a strong relationship with IQ, and it makes that so much easier. So definitely it's the technical benefits, but it's also the collaboration between the two businesses that's just brilliant.
Excellent. All right. Well, we've had another question come through from Caleb. Can a customer have multiple user login accounts to an Infigo storefront? The example he puts is each employee of a government department.
Can a customer have multiple user login accounts? Well, so ultimately, you can create multiple customers, each having their login, and provide that. We have the concept of departments as well, so you can group customers in Infigo, and then you can have them see specific products and hide specific products based on their login. So a customer can have multiple logins, or you can ultimately create multiple storefronts and allow customers to log into multiple storefronts as well.
But I think obviously, Alex, another one is. Sorry, mate.
No, go on.
I said. As the other thing obviously is as well, we've seen this with some of the UK customers, is that if that government department or branch has their own storefront, again, single sign-on comes into play. You're not creating all those accounts in one go. Yeah,
that's something that we a lot of our customers use. It's a real value add of Infigo, is that seamless login and control of customer accounts. On the onboard and offboarding piece within the business makes a huge difference. Caleb's also mentioned, Justin, he's just in that same question, he's put, is it possible to use a different storefront theme based on the customer? So we also have a module in Infigo that we call Chameleon, and it allows you, based on customers that log in and other various rules, you can change the look and feel of the site. So you can have customer A log in and see customer A branding, customer B log in and see customer B branding, or you can create multiple storefronts for customer A, customer B, and then control with real granular detail how that storefront looks and behaves. Excellent.
Okay, so Manish has asked, has Infigo worked on linking catalogues to ordering platforms that many corporates use, like an SAP system?
Yeah, so Ariba, I'm assuming, Manish, that you're talking about kind of like the punch out process. You start in one system, you punch out to an ordering platform. Punch out. So we have a punch out module, and we have customers. We're using Ariba, many others.
Cooper
that do
as well.
Cooper, Opta, I think maybe distance. And so you can start in those systems, punch out to Infigo, browse the catalogue, create your basket, order that. It goes back into that system for the approval process, and then once that's all approved, the invoice is then, or the confirmation is then sent into Infigo, and then because that confirmation is sent into Infigo, it then releases the jobs to then flow into IQ as well. So yes, is the answer.
Excellent. So Yeah, we could probably sit here and answer a lot of questions for a long time, but I know that everyone's on different time zones at different times of the day and probably want to have dinner and do things. So, yeah, I think we, start to wrap things up and people can reach out directly if they've got any other questions.
Thank you, guys. It's been fantastic. I mean, it's unbelievable that first of all we're an hour and 15 minutes in, but also we've done a live demonstration and nothing went wrong. So we say you should never do a live demonstration with software. So that's testament to the product and the guys we have on the call today. Rachel, I want to bring you in if I may. Obviously, we're talking about Infigo joining you guys in ANZ and how we're going to bring, a well-produced product that's established already in the rest of the world to the region. We're not just collaborating on today's webinar, are we? We're also looking to join you at PackPrint.
Oh yeah, definitely. So everyone knows PackPrint in Australia and New Zealand, our biggest trade show that's held every few years. So it's in Sydney in May. We're gold sponsors, so that's pretty amazing. And we've got a decent stand that we're arranging now. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity to have Infigo partners with us on the stand, so you guys can come and have a real life demo, meet the Infigo team, ask all the questions you want, have a personalised one-on-one demo with the guys. I think it's time. There's been enough going on in the ANZ market where Justin and I are hearing about the need for a web-to-print system. We're having lots of conversations, so it's an ideal time to have these guys join us on the stand. So it's super exciting.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you again. An extended welcome and appreciation for bringing us into the event. So it's the 20th to the 23rd of May at PackPrint, and we'll be on stand A78. Okay, so lots of discussions today, lots of probably comments and thoughts and questions still coming through. We welcome you to continue the conversation outside of the recording or the webinar, or however you're consuming this. Simply scan the QR codes to book a demo with or discovery call with either of the printIQ or Infigo team. Incidentally, Rachel mentioned PackPrint, and as part of this collaboration, we're delighted that Alex will be traveling to PackPrint. So if you'd like to meet with Alex and our CEO and founder down in Australia for a tailored viewing of the Infigo platform, book a demo now with those guys, and anyone who books a demo off the back of today's webinar or books in for PackPrint will be able to receive the Infigo Connect printIQ module absolutely free of charge. So make sure you book in and continue those conversations. So like we said earlier on in the call, these sessions are recorded. You'll be able to receive a recording. If you didn't make it during the live session, no worries. Please jump into the comments and share any feedback. We always welcome it. The recording will be going out shortly, and then you'll hear from each of the teams individually. Finally, thank you to our esteemed guests. Thank you to those getting up early in the UK. Thank you to the guys over in ANZ. And thank you to all of you for joining us and interacting and sharing your thoughts and comments. It's been fantastic. Rachel, thank you for having us, Rachel, in ANZ as well. Is there any closing comments from any of you guys want to share?
No, I think it's fantastic. I even learned a few things too, so it's amazing. No, thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks everyone. Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.